When I was still in varsity, I would see guys pulling up with fancy cars, luxurious cars, which most of my peers, or rather my friends, aspire to drive, which is a very good thing. But behind that mentality, or behind that motivation, was young boys aspiring to live that life that comes with certain benefits. Benefits like you are changing women, going to the clubs, earning what we call fake respect, earning what we call fame, just simply because you are driving a certain car, living a certain lifestyle, you're going to a certain place, drinking certain bottles of alcohol, that kind of a lifestyle, you know it. And behind that kind of motivation, which most of my friends had, and that kind of a mentality that they had, was a boy in me who was really curious about what it takes to drive that certain car, to live that certain lifestyle. How do these people make their own money? That is what drove that curiosity in me. That boy, I'm glad he had that kind of a mentality from a very young age, which is why I have this kind of experience to share with the next person out there. I've grown to a point whereby I've realized that most of these gents, or these guys who pull up with those fancy cars, most of them, they have neglected their children. Others, they don't support their families. Others don't have responsibilities. Others, they are doing the right things. I'm just talking mostly about those whom go out of their ways just to earn respect, just to gain fame, just to change women, just to live that kind of a lifestyle. Which is why I feel like most of the people who aspire to live that life were very delusional, according to me. Yes, I know we might have differences, and I understand that. Coming back to that boy who had the curiosity of how these guys make their own money, was to understand that how does one get to that point. Those are some of the questions that I was asking myself. What do I need to do to be in that position? And I don't want to sound negative to say that I want to live the life the way they were living it. What I aspire to live is a life of freedom, financial freedom, and being able to express myself the way I wanted to. Because let's be honest, a poor man doesn't have a voice. With what I've experienced and realized throughout my journey, a poor man doesn't have a voice. A man without money doesn't have a voice, which is the reality that most men face in their societies, in their communities. Which is why I'm challenging your thinking to say, why don't we change our mindsets from I want to live that life, I want to be that man, or I want to be that woman, to how does one carry themselves to be that man? How does one get to that point? What kind of a mentality do I need to carry to get there? And what I've experienced is that getting there, it's much easier given the right tools, the right information, being surrounded with the right people. But behind that, the most important factor that I feel like the next person needs to really pay much attention to, it's the characteristics of that person. Are you disciplined? Are you focused? Are you putting in the work? Are you logged in? Do you have a tunnel vision? Do you have that burning desire? Most men go out to live their lives without those characteristics, which is why I feel like that's the driving factor of our failure, which is why we need to start to challenge those kind of behaviors, those kind of mentalities. This is a new generation. People like myself are trying by all means to rather live a meaningful life that inspires nations, that inspires the younger generation, that inspires the older generation. Which is why I don't want you to get it wrong. If you see someone living their life, be inspired. Being inspired from the outside or the outside world it's a very good thing. Almost everyone is inspired by someone or by something, but the driving factor of the things or your actions mustn't rely mostly on the next person, must rely on here I am right now. Duncan Minis. The reality that I'm facing or my starting point can never be the same compared to the next person, which is why I need to pay much attention to where I am in order to know the things that I must do, that I must start with. Most of the reasons why you are still failing to get forward or get to the next level, it's simply because you want to start at the top. No one starts at the top. We all start from the ground and build our way up. Like I said, when we were still in university, we were lost. Most of us were lost. But for me, I was lost in reality, but in mind, I was elsewhere. I was now living the life that I am living right now. But the reality was still catching up, which is why most people misunderstood my message or my ideas when I tried to impose them, to say, how about we do 1, 2, 3 that will get us to that level that most of you really aspires to be in or be at. I've one person who has worked his entire life not trying to prove to the next person, but trying to prove myself. Compared to where I'm coming from, I can safely say that I've made it in life. For the next person, they might feel like I haven't arrived yet, which is a good thing as well, because I'm not trying to change other people's perception or perspective of me. I'm here to do what feels like it needs to be done on my side or on my end. If you feel like I haven't achieved anything yet, that's on you. For me, I'm very much happier and fulfilled with the life I've managed to live for the past few years. The experience, the man that you're listening to, or the man that you are watching, was shaped by those humble beginnings, which is why you must pay much attention to the things that you do each and every day of your life, which are aligned with your vision, your mission, your purpose. Stick to your purpose. Everything else will follow. Everything else will just catch up with that vision. Every day of your life, just strive to become a better person. Do not try to compete. Do not try to compare yourself to the next person. Just live your life according to how you should live your life. Do not jump the steps. You will fall. I remember this other time was talking with the old man, my grandfather, who was a very instrumental part of the person that I became. If you didn't know, I just diverted into farming recently, and we're building something very amazing out there, and we have managed to create some sort of employment for some people who work for our farm and in other operations that are going on in our company. So one of the days I tried to visit his farm, which is based in one of the local villages around Bushbuck Ridge. So they have acquired a very big land. I think it's about 8 to 10 hectares, if I'm not mistaken. With me, I've acquired less than a hectare. It's almost a hectare. So I felt like I was missing out. I felt like I was not doing enough, which is why I ended up proposing to him to say, how about you borrow me, or rather let me lease some parts of your farm so that I can also do my farming activities there. And I was just so curious to get started and get things going. And one thing he just said to me when I was mentioning what I want to do in this place, what I've planned to do, and so on and so forth, one thing that stood up was, do not rush, young man. You still have a long way to go. He's in his 70s, by the way. So I'm still in my 20s, late 20s. So he's like, do not rush, young man. You still have a long way to go. Do not rush. You will fall. Take it step by step. And once you get there, you will be able to manage these things. You will be able to live that life. Look at me, I'm 70 now. This is him. I'm 70 now. I'm above 70 now. Can you track down the things that I've built in maybe 50 years or in my entire life? It did not happen overnight. It took some time. It took so many years. It took so many years of failure. I've failed many times before could be here, which is why I want you to take it step by step. Those few words, those few lines have been stuck on my mind even today. This happened like a month ago, but those words keep on ringing on my head each and every day of my life. Do not rush, do not rush, do not rush, do not rush. Take it slow, take it step by step. And I've carried that mentality in my other professions, and it has been instrumental or rather helpful throughout my journey, which is why I feel like it was very good for me to share those kind of things with you on today's video. That's the message that I had for you today. I'm not sure what kind of a value I picked up in this video. Just let me know in the comment section on what kind of a value I picked up in this video. Also guys, for more life-changing information, there is a book titled To the Leader in You by myself, Duncan Mnisi, and other titles that I've written about, which is why I will leave the links to the books on my description box. On that note, if you are new into this YouTube channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you have been, and press the notification bell so whenever I get to upload, you will be the first one to be notified. On that note, I'll see you guys on our next YouTube video. This is your boy Duncan Mnisi. I will see you guys on the next one. Do not forget to subscribe.